Welcome back to the Babel podcast. Today we're on video, so I'm kind of nervous. More nervous than usual. I'm never usually nervous. We have a special guest today, Julio. He's replacing Diego. We'll call you.
Why are you talking so fast?
I'm nervous. I told you. All right. So, today's episode, it's Julio Melendez. Say something.
Hi guys, I've been on the show before, and I'm just in town for the
Now we're
holidays.
putting a face to the voice, if you remember.
Oh yeah,
In season 2, right? You were.
Something like that.
Yeah.
He told me on the stories.
Not
lost track of the
season one.
season, so I'm not too sure.
Anyways, what are you drinking, Julio?
I'm drinking a dirty chai from
How is
Starbucks.
it?
It's pretty good. It's a little more milky than I thought, but
Is it your usual?
it's
Is
the
it
usual, but
usually
I feel like they made it with a lot more.
No, like the drink.
Oh yeah.
You usually get
I usually get this, or honestly, I get a lot of things.
that. I know.
But this
I changed Starbucks.
Yeah, this is one of my mains.
So you're a coffee guy, I would say. But like you still rep Starbucks. You're not one of those people who is like, oh no, I don't do Starbucks.
No, I rep Starbucks for sure. I'm
100%.
I'm a
Yeah,
I'm
you
a wet
always
bitch.
do.
Like, I'm definitely putting
No,
somebody through college.
Yeah, because there's some people that like once they get to coffee, they're only doing their pour overs at home. And
No, I feel like there's like a time and a place for that stuff. Like,
It's like that's Michael Minus, I think.
but I feel like I'm like,
Why you think-
His whole
obviously, I
name.
mean, he's a barista.
I say
Yeah.
where he works. and stuff.
Michael Minus, who works at.
Why is it barista? How come it's not a barista?
It's not like a gender
Yeah.
thing, it's just like general.
I guess
Like
there's,
waiter.
you know, like
I don't know.
I've gotten into more like online communities, and like that O thing is not as like people don't understand that when they're not from a Southwest area, like a Hispanic
Yeah,
area.
Like
What do you mean?
gender?
Oh, you mean like masculine and feminine
Like
words?
like
Yeah.
like they were showing a name, and I was like, oh, is that a girl? And they're like, why is there everything that's a girl? And I'm like, well, because over
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
if there's an A, it's probably like a
Feminine, yeah.
So I don't know, I just
Yeah,
kind
I
of blew my
mean,
mind.
in
that
like
people-
Spanish too.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like
because it comes from.
because it stems from that, and we're used to that.
I thought that was like normal. What were you saying from? Like,
Yeah.
for example.
Like they were up north people. Like
I know,
from
but
Canada.
like a word, like.
I can't remember exactly what it was,
Okay.
but it was like a name for something, and I was like, oh, like is it a girl? And they're like, no, you're like the third person to say
It's
that.
north.
North. Here we
But
go
like
again.
where?
Geography with Alexis.
It's because if you
I
guys
said
didn't know,
Canada.
I'm barely kind of learning my geography.
Like I think they were from Canada.
This way?
Never.
So like if you see the map, there's El Paso, and then if you go straight up north.
Well, we're in North America, right?
Yes, North America, but he's saying like more like north of us,
Yeah,
Oh my god. that's
like
a whole
north
other-
of us or U.S.
yeah, A.
or
Where's that?
or
Up?
U.S. Yeah, Canada.
Where's Antarctica? Down?
Down.
Antarctica's down. The Arctic is.
But you have to like remember that the Earth is a globe, so it's all like where you're at.
I think
It's all
I
relative,
think I
man.
don't believe in that. I think I believe in the flat.
Are you serious?
I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
I was about to say.
I don't know how people believe
I'm
in
not gonna
that.
put that
though.
online. I hope you know.
If like you know how like we get like space pictures. I mean I know I guess they can
Yeah.
be fake, but like then how do people believe in so much that it's still flat? You know what I mean?
Ignorance.
Yeah, I guess.
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have an answer for you because like if that's true, then a lot of the stuff you learn in like physics and shit like
Yeah.
doesn't
Doesn't
apply.
make sense. I don't know. I don't know if you've seen those videos, but like those people who are like hardcore flat earthers, and they're like, well, if we do this test, we'll see. And then they do it, and they're like, yeah, you can see it. They're like, yeah. So what does that mean? They're like,
My favorite is like, well, I look down the road and it's straight, and it's like, wow.
Yeah, but if you keep driving, you never just like fall.
I mean, my fucking house isn't even straight.
Yeah. Mine either. Actually, it kind of looks like this. My mom.
Yeah, that's more like a construction thing.
oh, yeah, mine's like this. But
House.
Anyway, so what are you drinking?
I am drinking very berry hibiscus, right? Hibiscus? Lemonade.
hibiscus. I say hibiscus.
Hibiscus?
I say hibiscus. You
Not
can say
hibiscus?
You can say hibiscus. Say whatever you
It's
want.
wrong, but you can say it.
No, I mean, I'm
I think it's
acknowledging I
pronounced
don't know what it is.
hibiscus.
Hibiscus?
Hibiscus.
Very berry hibiscus.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it doesn't. It literally looks like they didn't put any of that because it's usually
Yeah.
like purple.
Well, usually the coloring is like the dragon fruit stuff. And all that.
Like, it doesn't taste just like lemonade, though.
Yeah.
Because
it
I'm
just
not a
tastes
big fan of
berry.
lemonade.
Oh really? I like lemonade, but I
This
won't get it at a
definitely has,
restaurant.
I fuck
like a
with it.
bitterness to it.
Nice. It's the hibiscus.
The hibiscus?
Hibiscus.
Yeah.
We actually have at work. I think you'd be interested in this. We have a Don Julio hibiscus
Really?
old-fashioned.
So you think I'd like it because my name is Julio? Huh?
What does Don mean? Boss?
Don, like the boss. Yeah.
I just know that from like mafia movies.
Yeah.
The Don.
Does that
It
interest
sounds
you?
good.
Right?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Well, I mean, I wouldn't drink it because I don't like tequila, but like the hibiscus, like really.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, I
the
feel like
ice
old
is
fa-
made
yeah.
of
Oh,
instead
okay.
of a regular like ice
That's
ball.
interesting.
Yeah, so it melts and then it like adds that.
Yeah. I mean, because
People
like
really
old
like it.
fashions, if you like, are traditionally whiskey. So,
Yeah. It's
but,
tequila.
yeah, I want to try it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking a iced chai latte with pumpkin cream cold foam, and it's very good. You want to try it?
Actually, let me smack this.
I think you have to take a little bit longer sip though, because the top's just the pumpkin. It's good though. I mean, if you like chai.
I don't know, like, I can't, I don't know what chai tastes like.
Tastes like chai,
tea.
man.
It's like cinnamony, kind of.
Cinnamony?
I let you try mine, remember? Because I was drinking like chai so much that I got one from, I think you saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I showed it. So I got one from
Yeah.
Target and it's just like the chai blend. And you just mix it with milk and it was really good. Like I really liked it. And it was like $3
Yeah.
instead of getting one like $6 every time.
So like this one, you don't taste as much because it's a grande.
So, which is small.
Yeah.
This shit fucking bugs.
So if it was bigger, then you definitely get the more chai flavor out of it.
The ratios are all messed up, huh?
Yeah, ratios are off right now. So
Anyways, what do we have for today?
Alright, so today's theme, it's a continuation of last week's because we didn't get to it because we kind of
Well,
changed
if
gears.
you heard last week's by now, because this will be up in like a week. So if you heard last week's,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
If you heard
that was last week's.
we didn't do Reddit stories. We did, or if
Unsolved
you didn't hear,
mysteries.
yeah, we did unsolved mysteries, which they're kind of weak. I kind of want to do like better ones in the future, but we've been doing Reddit if you've been like listening. And also, if you're watching, like we're not gonna really be looking at the camera because it just feels, I think, more comfortable like to not be like staring.
Well, and
Sorry.
I think people who watch podcasts know that that's usually why.
Yeah, they're not like looking at the camera; they're looking at each other.
Yeah. That is one thing I would say about this setup is like it is a little awkward to have to turn. It's not
Turn
like the
like
worst, but
I like
Yeah.
it. From this point,
I feel like
I'd
you
like
would
it
feel
from me.
like
I
I
feel like
fine.
this 'cause
yeah,
I'm like-
exactly.
Do you want to say right here instead?
I don't care. I'm good. I'm good where I'm at.
All right, so first story. I feel like I can't trust her now. I'm a 25-year-old male. My girlfriend is a 25-year-old female. She went to a concert tonight. Turns out she went with some friends, a married couple, and also her ex, a 23-year-old male. When I asked her before the concert, she only mentioned the friends and that she was excited to go. After the concert, we talked, said goodnight, and she still didn't mention anything about her ex. I found out later tonight because one of her friends posted a picture of all four of them in her story. So I feel like my trust been played a little bit with. Specifically her knowing I had past trauma from ex's cheating and bad communication. I think she could have easily mentioned her ex was going, or that her ex was there with them. I've caught her hiding little weird stuff from me before, stuff that I think we can talk about openly, and I've expressed this to her. I'd rather have communication than find out in other ways. And this kind of just adds up to the pile of things she has not mentioned to me. So I definitely feel a little like I can't really trust her. Like maybe there's things I don't fully know. Am I just thinking irrationally? I'm thinking of breaking up.
Ooh.
Well, how long have they been together? Does it say?
No, it doesn't say
I
how.
wish it said. I feel like that's so important.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Also, I wish he would say more of like what she kind of lies about. Because if it was like she's always hanging out with her ex, I think that would be different than like,
Yeah.
oh, I went to the store and she didn't. You
Well, I
know,
feel like they've been together long enough for him to rack up like
yeah.
a bunch of instances
No, because I mean,
like
it could be like a few months and people like, if she's a
that. I
liar.
guess.
I think though, like even if it wasn't just her ex, like constantly being lied to about little things, it's just like it fucks with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, here's my thought like right away. Maybe because she knows like the trauma that he's had. Maybe like to her, if they've talked about this already, like, oh, like I don't want you to be with your ex or whatever. But it's like in her friend group, maybe to her it's like, well, I'm just not gonna say anything. I'm not saying it's okay, but maybe it's like, oh, why you lie? But like to him, it's like a big deal, you know?
Yeah, but I still think like it's like you said, it's been.
I don't think that he's like tripping or anything.
No, I don't think so. Because he's just asking her, like, just tell me.
I mean, because if it was like a bunch of people,
Yeah.
then like what you were saying kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it was literally the couple and then the ex, so I feel like she definitely should have mentioned something about that.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Or like if she didn't even know like he was going and then he showed up, like she should have been like, yo, like
so and so's
like,
here. Or,
yeah, like just in case you say anything I didn't know, I wasn't planning on going. I think if they're like early in their relationship, I think, you know what I mean? Like,
I think it's
cut it off.
Because I think if it was like years, he would be able to talk to her about it, like.
Well, or it's not her, like. That's not him talking to her about it.
Like she needs to.
Yeah, she's the one who like needs to be upfront.
No, but yeah, but like he could confront her and be like, well, why do you keep lying? Like I already told you to just be straight up, like this makes me feel worse if you think like you're making it better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if they're early on, like if they're not like living together or something like that, I think that's enough for me to be like.
So I don't know. I feel like what makes me think that they've been together is that they usually communicate about anything, like he said, and then also she knows that he has past trauma, so they've talked about those things. And I feel like you don't talk about those things within like the first
6 months.
month, Yeah, I feel like 6 months is probably fair.
I think that's still early enough to be like, you know what, like, because it's like you're seeing this problem, you're not that invested.
Yeah. I think he's already like having doubts anyway, so unless she literally like makes like a 1-inch, she's just gonna. I don't think he's being irrational at all.
Yeah.
Cause like being lied to like that fucks with you. You like can't trust anybody for anything.
Especially like if it's like little stuff like, oh yeah, I did the dishes and then like she didn't, and it's like why are you being like that? All right, you're up, buddy.
Oh, we're gonna go on and on?
Yeah, why not?
It's loading. Okay. Am I the asshole for telling my wife to stop overreacting over an innocent mistake? Today when I came home from work, my daughter, 7 years old, didn't greet me as usual. I checked on her and she was apparently grounded by her mom for 2 weeks. I asked my wife why she had done so, and she told me that her teacher called her and said that our daughter used foul language in class. I asked her what the word was and how it was used. The word was sex. It says S-A-E.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Sure.
Yeah, I think it's sex.
Yeah,
I think
sex.
he just like bleeped it out.
Yeah.
It could have just done S-E star. Okay.
Some shit.
I asked my daughter where she learned the word, and she said that she heard her mom telling her friend that she'll be there in a sec. She had learned that it meant second, so she used it in plural form. Example, sex.
Okay.
While talking to her friend, and the teacher called my wife after hearing her. I relayed the same to my wife, but she said that it's still not acceptable for a kid to use such language, and our daughter has to be disciplined. I told her to stop overreacting to such an innocent mistake. She told me I'm being very lax and that I'm not a good parent. She's refusing to talk to me or our daughter now. Am I the asshole?
Whoa.
No.
Okay, she has problems.
Yeah, that's definitely fucked up.
You're dating Kim Jong-un, buddy.
That's not even what she meant to say.
I know, that's like, it was an innocent thing.
Well,
the kid doesn't know any better.
Even if she did say like it on purpose and she's lying, like how do you ground a kid that age for 2 weeks? Like what do you do?
Yeah, it's kind of, it's pretty
Can't go
excessive.
out.
Can't go out with your friends.
Give me your phone.
I don't have any friends.
But then even then, like, first of all, if she was saying it or whatever, like you're saying, like she doesn't even know what it means. So how are you gonna Like, it's not like she's just out
Yeah.
there telling kids what it means.
Yeah, like I think like explaining like, hey, don't say that, and then
Yeah.
like that's about it.
Like 2 weeks is pretty excessive for a 7-year-old, I think.
Yeah.
When
But-
she didn't even mean to say that.
But then here's my problem. Like so far, I don't think he's the asshole. But this is going on now, right? Alexis's favorite thing I do, where I overthink about it, is like these people who tell the Reddit stories. They always like they never do anything wrong. They always speak. I told her calmly and logically.
That's not what he
Like,
said, though.
like if you call her like, oh, you dumb bitch, why would you ground our kid for like, you know, like.
But that's like, he
then maybe you
didn't say anything like that. He just said, I told my wife, like, the mix-up.
No, but that's what I'm saying is they always like they don't say like how they said it, you know.
Like how everything went down, yeah.
So like I always want to hear like the other side.
The other perspective.
Well, I don't think we want to hear her perspective because she seems kind of.
She doesn't want to talk to anyone.
Well,
wild.
I don't like to silence people, but I mean if you're all about that, that's fine.
Okay.
But no, definitely not the asshole at all. Did you guys ever like? Do you remember your first experience saying like a cuss word in school or something like that?
Yeah. Well, I said it to my mom.
I think I did a good job of like.
Flying under the radar.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So
That's funny because you don't now.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, now I don't.
You're just fucking
Now I'm full.
bleeping them
I'm
out.
full out, baby.
I would never like get in trouble by like teachers and stuff. But like one time I told my mom, "No mames," in 2nd grade, and she slapped me, and I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah. I don't.
Is no mames even a bad word?
It's kind of like.
It's kind
Is
of
it just like inappropriate or what?
It
Like,
could mean a few things. I think like it could kind of be like what the fuck or like.
I feel like it's definitely like inappropriate slang.
Yeah.
yeah, because I never see it as like a.
It's like if you called your mom Way.
Yeah, that's how I see
Yeah.
it. Where it's like
Like.
it's more of saying like. I feel like it's like this like the same level of bad word as like crap. You know what I mean?
I was actually gonna say that. That's like one word that I said, and then like my dad was.
Crap.
looking at- yeah, I said that, and my dad was like, "What'd you say?" And I was like, "I said crap." Then he's like, he like gave me the look. I was like, "Okay, if everyone say that again."
That's not
I was like, "Fuck, all right, man, that was it."
Okay, I think mine was bastard.
That's
That's
pretty
a
bad.
that's a strong one.
Not that like that was like the first word I ever said, but I think I got in trouble for saying that because I don't know how I found out. I learned what it meant really soon.
Yeah.
So like I would like find out other kids are divorced or like out of wedlock or whatever like that. So I'd call them bastards.
That's fucked up. It's fucked up, I think, because
Who
did
there
you
was the
call
actual
bastard?
like meaning.
It was in 2nd grade. I don't even remember.
Yeah, mine was in 2nd grade too, or like
But-
yeah, like 2nd and
And
3rd.
then I was watching a lot of war movies in 2nd grade. So yeah, I picked up a lot of
Band of
words.
Brothers.
Yeah, probably that was probably what it was.
what I was watching.
This comment: why would it be inappropriate for a child to discuss sex? That's kind of young, no?
Yeah, I mean, wait, how old are they again?
Like 2nd or first or kinder.
Yeah, that's really weird. Why wouldn't it be inappropriate?
At 7, there's a good chance that they think about it. What?
I think like
I don't think
I
they
think
know
that they're
what
old
it
enough to
is.
know what's going on.
and I think you're curious about your body. You know how like
Yeah.
my mom was saying, where like
Oh yeah.
like kids like
We should tell your story. Go ahead.
nah, that's apparently I showed my wee wee
To somebody.
when I was a kid. But my mom said that it's like extremely common at that age. Well, I guess more common than you
I
think.
think she just
Wait,
said
how-
that
how
to
old
make
are
you
you?
feel better.
How old are you?
I don't even remember
I
it, so it
think
must
she
have
said
been
like
really.
1st or 2nd.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't in school.
Oh
It probably was like a
Oh,
like when I
yeah,
was in
that's
daycare or
fine. Yeah.
something.
Yeah, like I told you that I was like, that I've been on Reddit recently.
no. Mhm.
And I was actually reading one like that, and this chick was talking about if she was wrong for feeling weird, but she was babysitting her mom's friend's son and like other younger kid. But the son was like 12 years old, and he like flashed her.
Whipped it out.
Yeah, like flashed her and like thought it was funny, but she was like uncomfortable.
Well, definitely she should feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, do I think the kid's gonna be a sex offender? Probably.
Well,
Probably,
not.
yeah.
Bob is kind of older though.
That's yeah, and that's like
Probably
No, like he definitely needs to be. Like he's old
Yeah.
enough to know that's
Yeah, to
bad.
know
it's
But
bad,
I don't
yeah.
think it's like, oh my god, we need
Yeah.
to send him somewhere to.
Yeah.
I don't know
get
because I
looked
feel
at.
like also with that stuff like.
She said it was a hammer too.
God
Alright,
damn,
well,
are you
I'm not
serious?
gonna lie.
Oh,
Well, she didn't specifically say that it was a hammer, but she said, I forgot like how she worded it, but saying that it was big. I'm not even joking. She said that in
that's
there.
weird.
And so I was like, that's kind of a weird detail to
That's
put
a
in
weird
there.
comment. What?
That's kind of a weird detail to put in there.
Okay.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I feel like it might change things a little bit, but
That makes me more curious about her, honestly, than the kid.
That's weird. So OP never like responds or anything, but overall, ruling was not the asshole. But
Yeah.
people were just kind of like saying like she didn't even mean to say that or whatever, which is what I think. I don't know, but I mean, either way, now she's like either way. What I was thinking, I'm sorry, I like that, but what I was thinking is, what if it was about her, but like she heard it from her mom? You know, like wouldn't it be the mom's fault?
Well, that's what I thought it was.
What?
Yeah, I thought because she said that she heard her mom say it.
Oh yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, I thought the mom was talking to somebody.
So did I. That's why I was like. Oh.
I was like, what if it's a cover up?
Maybe.
Seconds. I don't know.
But then I don't know. I think she's way too young to even be like punishing her for something she doesn't even know.
100%.
Like that's an opportunity to like teach her like.
Yeah.
You don't go like saying shit that you know. First of all.
It's a teaching point.
Anyways.
All right, next one. This one has a lot of comments. 1,000. I, 27 male, just found out that my wife, 23 female, wore to a Halloween party and it was completely inappropriate. I read that really bad.
Oh, what she wore?
I just found out what my wife wore to a Halloween party and it was
Wait,
completely...
she's 23?
Yeah.
And he's 27?
That's not that
A
big.
little bit.
No.
I think that's
She's
fair.
young.
I think it's
At that age, that's not that big of a deal.
I don't think it's a big deal either.
Well,
Also, you can't put like a number on maturity. So
No. I'm not saying it's a
think
big...
about this, they could have been in college together.
No, I'm not saying it's a big like age difference. I just think like the maturity level is gonna be different.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that you can't put an age on that because like I feel like everyone's different.
This is how I judge this stuff. Like, where are you in life? Like, if they're both graduated and they both have their jobs, so like I would expect them to be on the same maturity level. Honestly. All right.
There's probably a reason that they're married.
Yeah. Military.
We're married.
We were both invited to a Halloween party with friends. We've hung out before and they seemed like decent folk. She knew most of them in college. Anyway, I had to travel for work and couldn't go. Originally, we were going to do a couple outfit, but she said she was going to do something else, since it wouldn't work with just one of us, which was fine. I kept asking her what she was going to be up until the party, and she hadn't figured it out yet. Whatever didn't press the issue. Anyway, party was on the 30th, and I asked what she wore, and she kept being flaky. Finally, she says, a maid, and I asked if I can see her costume, but she kept deflecting / putting it off / changing subject.
I've seen this video.
Finally, she sent me a selfie of her in it after a week of asking her so, and it shows her in a... Oh my god, dude, I can't read right now. Finally, she sent me a selfie of her in it after a week of asking her so, and it shows her in basically a see-through top with no bra on. She claims she wore pasties, but the selfie was not taken in our house. It is dark and you can't see much behind her, but it's definitely not our house. Right now I'm kind of hurt and don't know how to bring it up to her. I feel like my trust has been broken. This is a tough one.
This one
What?
is.
I feel like it's on the fence.
It is.
No.
It is on the fence.
It's not tough.
It's on the fence.
I don't think it's tough at all. I think, well, actually, the only weird part is that she didn't want to tell him.
That's like my.
But
That's the
I
thing.
think that's obviously because he wouldn't have approved. But I don't think he should be telling her what she can and can't wear. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. So it's kind of. Yeah, it's on the fence.
So then?
Like, would you get upset if I told you, like, one day... okay, Halloween's different, because it's more socially acceptable to dress kind of like... Yeah, as a girl.
Slutty.
You know? I was going to say skanky, but... Like, what's the worst word? Skanky or
I think
slutty?
slut is worse.
Okay, like what if Jacob went to a party and was wearing like fucking like some see-through underwear? You could see his hog,
Yeah.
and a bunch of girls were gonna be there.
She had a see-through, but you couldn't see her nips.
Oh no, he said that she wore pasties.
Yeah.
But in
But
the
the
picture there was...
But the picture there wasn't, and it wasn't at their house.
The picture didn't have pasties?
No, the picture didn't have pasties.
I thought he said he just couldn't tell.
No.
You
couldn't see the background.
Yeah, but he knew it wasn't their
He
house.
knew that it wasn't their house. And she just said that
Okay,
she was
if her
wearing
nipples
pasties.
are showing, that's kind of different.
So like if like your tits are out like at a
Yeah.
party and then like
Yeah, it's basically being nude.
Let me see. I
He-
just want a fact.
Not like shouldn't like he might not speak English very well because it's written.
it's written terribly.
Yeah. Like it's like the wrong answer.
Yeah, I just feel like she knew the answer.
Yeah, she knew it was gonna get.
Sure, she knew the. I don't know, like, yeah, the right answer, the bad answer. I don't know.
All right, so like, I think there needs to be a conversation.
No, but look, like he never says that. Like I can see her nipples though.
Let me see.
He just says she claims she wore pasties, but he's not saying if he can see her nipples or not.
I thought you said that.
No, he says she claims she wore pasties, but the picture's dark in the back. That's what he said.
Oh well.
I think the pasties make a difference.
I do too.
Yeah.
But like the fact that she's like being so secretive about it.
But I also think that kind of has to say a lot about him. Because clearly she didn't want to tell him because he would be upset about it or bothered. Which,
so here's the thing, like, I think there should be a conversation because it kind of feels like even if he shouldn't tell her what to say, like he feels like she went behind his back.
yeah, I get that. But like you, like I would never be like, I would never hide that. Or like if you ask me, like I'll show you, you know. Like I would never hide it. I would always, even if it was super slutty, and I would never, you know what I mean? So I think it's kind of weird, but I think that has more to say about him and how he reacts to that.
So like, does he have to be okay with everything she wears? Is that like a requirement?
I mean, for some women it is, and like for me it is. Like I would never let you tell me what I can and can't wear. But if
No, but not
you
like
have the
not telling you
understanding-
what you can and can't wear, but like if you wear something, I'm like if I tell you like this kind of makes me uncomfortable, like that you're wearing that to this, I don't know, say.
I just can't see you tell me that.
All
But
right,
I
say
think I just pretty appropriate for
you do.
everything. Like
Yeah.
I know when like I'm going out.
It's
I know when
a
I'm
tough
going
one.
to church.
I think it is a tough one.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just like so. Like some of the comments are saying, or they're saying, why was she so evasive about it? You
See,
know?
that's what I'm saying, but I also think that has to do with him, not really like
Oh,
her.
fuck.
Like I don't think she's trying to be weird about it. I think she
Yeah.
didn't want him to be upset. Which I don't know if that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like it's also like how you look at that, like because like those things, like her body or like stuff like that,
Mhm.
you know, like could be sacred to your guys' relationship.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I'm
it falls
saying.
into like monogamy almost because like you're the only person that gets to see that part of you.
That's
you know?
why I think the pasties
Yeah.
are a very big factor in this. If she wasn't wearing them, that's nasty, or not nasty, but that's like fucked. If she was, it's different, I think.
I think this comment like presents like what I was trying to say.
The case for both.
Well, like he says, let me read the whole thing. The bigger issue is why she was so evasive about it. Was it just because she knew you'd be uncomfortable with it, or was it something else? I think you should first approach the conversation by asking why she tried to hide it. If there were ulterior motives, then you deserve to know. However, if there wasn't, then you're going to have a conversation about what you're both comfortable with. Ultimately, she's allowed to wear what she wants, but you're allowed to be uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
But these are things you need to be able to communicate. Yeah, like I think that's like what I was trying to say. Is like I wouldn't tell you what to wear, but I would be like it just like if not saying you do, but like if you were to dress slutty to church, it'd be like, well, it's just kind of like.
Yeah,
Like, why
I think
would you
that's
do
fair.
that?
But if I was still, like, let's say I was like, well, I'm gonna wear it, like, I don't care. Like, you wouldn't tell me no. And I kind of feel like he would tell her no. I think that's why, that's just, I'm seeing it from, like, her perspective. That's kind of what I get at. Or feel.
I think it definitely needs to be a conversation.
And that's stuff I think you should talk about before you get married. Like, that's why a lot of times when people just, like, do it, like,
Yeah.
off, like, what is
Off
it
the
called?
whim.
Yeah. Like, I think it's like, why wouldn't you talk about all of these, like, I mean, I know it's hard to talk about every situation that can arise, but, like, most things, like,
Yeah.
if what she's wearing is really bothering him, you know? Like, I honestly think it has to do with him and not her trying to be, like, weird or, like, secretive. But, I mean, it could, like, I could be wrong. Especially if she wasn't wearing pasties.
After a week,
Let's
though?
try to find it out.
A week.
He
So
does.
what?
He
A
does.
week of asking. Like,
Yeah.
you're having to drag something out of
See,
somebody
that's
now.
why. It's kind of weird.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Okay, check this out. Like, there's no other updates, but this is he says, like, this is the bigger issue is why she's so evasive about it, and he responds, OP, this is sort of my biggest concern. And people say, then you should start there, tell her that you're hurt, she didn't want to show you her outfit, and you want to understand why she felt the need to do that. If she reacts in a gaslighting manner, I'd say it's the start of the end for them. What would be a gaslighting response to this? Why don't you trust me? You're being controlling. This is why I didn't tell you in the first place. If you hadn't had to leave town, this would have never happened. Like, stuff like that. I think, like, there needs to be a conversation. Because, yeah, like, we don't, again, with the Reddit things, like, you don't get all the details.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's not going to say, like, I'm controlling, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, like, conversation needs to be had. And if it was just like, oh, like, you know, I know you're going to feel uncomfortable, then I'd be like, well, I mean, you still did it anyway. So, like, one, you know it's going to be uncomfortable, and you didn't care to tell me. Which, like, I feel like he deserves to at least know what she's wearing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why it's such a big deal, though. Like,
Well, because if you know he's going to feel uncomfortable with it, then you would want
but
to tell
that
him, like,
obviously
I
has
mean-
to do with how he, like, reacts to what she wears and stuff, clearly.
I don't think if.
He could have just been curious because he knew that he wasn't going and there was
No, I
supposed
think
to...
at first it started like that. He was just
Yeah.
like, oh, what are you going to be? And she was being like,
I think
what?
that's what led to the suspicion because
Yeah.
it was like, I'm not going to tell you. And then, like, how he's looking in, like, that's not my house and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's because she didn't tell him right. I feel like if she would have showed him, he would have been like, okay.
Yeah.
But whose house was it?
Exactly. That's like, nobody's asking these
And
questions.
nobody's
on here.
nobody's asking the right questions. Jeez.
There's a lot of comments to this one.
It is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a tough situation.
It might have been different if she was just like, oh, like, I'm not sure yet or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, she did say that,
Yeah.
and then...
I think she definitely knew what she was going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. That was a good one. Don't you think?
This guy was laughing at your picture. That's funny.
I like the ones where it's hard to tell. Like, I hate,
Yeah,
like,
where you're
not
like
that
on
I
the
hate,
fence.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks having a clear-cut fucking answer.
Okay. Ready?
Whoa.
Oh,
We
shit.
got the boogies out?
This is an update.
The bloodies.
I don't know the person.
No idea.
Oh, here it is. Alright. I, 24 female, have been living with my dad and his girlfriend for 2 years now. Overall, we get along pretty well. My mom lives in another town and she has a mental disease. Long story short, my mom won't get any treatment/therapy, so I just go to see her when I can and I try to spend time with her. I know she'll never get better and it's been difficult to deal with, so I've been going to therapy for almost a year and I've gotten better at handling it, but it's still hard. I've been dealing with this since I was like 20. I've only started to speak up about it more openly now that I go to therapy, and my dad and his girlfriend know about this. I went to visit my mom this weekend. I love her with all my heart, but it takes a lot of emotional effort to do this. She has some type of schizophrenia. She hears things and she genuinely believes that people are after her. In her mind, there are hackers, murderers, and police trying to capture her. That's schizophrenia for you. I can't explain in detail, but I hope you get the idea. So spending time with my mom is difficult, like a deadly mission for her every day. I have fun and we do things together, but it still requires a lot of patience. I came back today, Sunday evening, and Dad's girlfriend asked if I was okay. I said yes. She immediately said, and don't leave your room like that when you leave. This isn't the first time I come back home and it's the first thing she tells me. And I just started crying in silence. I wanted to stop but couldn't. I cleaned up my room every single day for weeks. It was this one day because all my energy was for me to visit my mom because, as I said, it's emotionally hard. I really don't think it's that important. Not more important than my own mental health, at least. And I just barely got home, where I feel like I should be able to relax a bit. She didn't just give me a break. I didn't even spend 5 minutes at home. So when she noticed I was crying, I just said everything. I told her she could have waited to tell me to settle. When I settled for a bit before, or just trust that I'd do it tomorrow morning, I was gonna do it anyways. That what I'm doing is emotionally draining, and that it's just this one day that I just got here and should be able to relax. That I have to process my mom will never get better, and while I may look okay on the outside, I'm fighting every day on the inside. I told her all this and more, but I tried not to hurt her, and I was careful with my words. But it looked like she was feeling bad anyway, even though my point was only that I needed a bit more patience and sensibility. What?
I was like, yeah, make her feel bad.
I told her I don't want her to feel bad, just to consider how hard it can be for me. There was a lot of tension before they went to sleep. I thought about apologizing, but I didn't. I just don't feel sorry. It's how I felt, and I was trying to communicate how she made me feel. But I don't know. Maybe I was too sensible or dramatic. Or maybe she didn't understand me. I might be asshole.
I'm gonna go out and say no.
Yeah.
I just think I think she was caught off guard because I don't think she's telling her to be an asshole stepmom or that's the
that's the girlfriend.
yeah she's just saying, oh, don't leave your she doesn't understand, she said she doesn't understand what's going on in her life. So I think when she just opened up, she was like, oh my god, kind of just taken aback.
But how messy does her room have to be for her to make a comment?
That's what I'm saying. Or just, for one day,
yeah.
But it might be one of those households where they're very, your bed's made every morning when you wake up type of thing.
Yeah.
Or the dishes, I expect the dishes done before you go to bed.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't think she's gonna do it again, honestly. I think she was just caught off guard because she's just telling her hey, go clean your room, and then that you get that unloaded on you, which I think was good, for her to say that. But I don't think she's an asshole. I don't think either of them are, unless the mom is I don't care how you feel, you better
I
clean
think
your
the
room.
girlfriend kind of is the asshole because she knows about the whole situation. I mean, even if she can't empathize.
Yeah.
Even if she can't have empathy for her, or doesn't have it or whatever, she still knows what's happening anyways. She has to know how it hurts her or something like that. There's no way she's that whatever about it, or you know what I'm saying?
But I don't think her asking her to clean her room is an asshole thing.
But she didn't even
It was the first thing.
Yeah.
It
said that she asked her how it went, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
immediately
I think
following.
It might have been the way she said it too.
Well, it's just because it's
well, the immediate switch from topics shows that you kind of don't give a fuck about what I
she's
just
just
said.
kind of asking just before I tell you to go fucking clean her room.
Yeah.
That is true. I get that, but I feel you have to give that person someone does something and then you tell them about it, and then if they still do it, then it's okay. Well, then
Then
you
she's an
knew.
asshole.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it was ignorance,
Yeah.
and how she says, I'm pretty sure she doesn't have a mom that has schizophrenia, but she has a busy day too, and there's probably stuff that goes along with her. So I don't think she's an asshole. I think it was in tune, insensitive, but an asshole. No, I don't think either of them are.
So you're a 24-year-old adult. Why is she even commenting on the state of your room?
Well, first of all, she lives with her.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's just kind of weird.
24 years old, one day that you didn't clean your room.
Yeah, because she was out visiting her mentally ill mom. Why are you so concerned about that?
I feel she just failed to read the room.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Ignorance or insensitivity.
Yeah.
She says, not the asshole, and start keeping your door closed. I keep my door open because we have a cat and he usually sleeps on my bed, but I might start closing it. Honestly, there doesn't seem to be...
Who only sleeps on a made bed?
Yeah.
Honestly, there doesn't seem to be a real issue. She did something that hurt you after the emotionally draining day you had. You told her you didn't appreciate it, and it seems to have gotten through since she was actually feeling bad after the talk.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
He says, yeah, I guess you're right. I just feel maybe I went overboard. I don't want to make her feel bad. I just want her to understand me.
I don't think she went overboard. I think it was more of an unloading, she literally just got out what she needed to get out.
This person's you're not the asshole, but you're 24. Move out.
Get the fuck over it.
She's obviously I wanted to.
Laughs in 23.
Laughs in 23.
24 and yeah, loser.
Yeah. What a bitch.
Obviously, I want that too, but it's not as easy as it seems.
Amen, brother.
She's not getting bitter. Just move on.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I don't know if he responds a lot in this, but anyways, yeah, a bunch of people said not the asshole. I guess I kind of agree with that comment. It doesn't seem like there's an issue.
Yeah, I also feel like the mom or the stepmom should have like replied
Yeah, like said something.
or had some kind of reply to like what just
Because that's
happened.
probably why she feels bad. She just walked away.
because if you just walked away and just like didn't say anything the rest of the night, that's like okay.
Yeah, but I also can understand like getting all that and being like, oh, you know, like kind of being taken aback. But I agree, she's learning. All right.
They're both 24.
God. The first date activity matters. About a year ago, I switched my main dating activity from dinner, parentheses restaurants, and coffee.
I think she's scratching the fucking screen door and she's gonna break it. Hey! Do not do that. No.
No, actually. Just because I really don't like the way it tastes though.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of it either.
I'm just gonna restart.
My whole leg went through the fucking hole. Go ahead.
She said.
The first date activity matters. About a year ago, I switched my main dating activity from dinner and coffee cafes to public parks / outdoor areas / walks, etc. And the success rate of my first dates increased drastically. Let me define success.
Why are you reading it exactly how I feel like he's saying it?
When I say success, I mean the date had been great for both parties and a second date was always arranged. And on several occasions, I wasn't the one that initiated to arrange a second date. I'm in my 20s, but I still wish I started doing this earlier. Movies / media give us this funny narrative about dates and where they should be if you really want to have a great date, and most of us guys get sucked into it. Since I changed my first date activity, here's what has happened to me. 1, I feel easy. I am a far calmer in an open park than in a cafe or restaurant. 2, there are subjects of conversations everywhere. See that elderly man? Did I tell you about the time my grandpa faked a heart attack to get out of going on the family trip? See that kid just tripped over air? Toddlers are really just drunk adults, aren't they? See that tree? Apparently it's 3,000 years old. I concentrate better. I don't know why, but I do. I find it easier to pay attention to what she's saying. 4, you get to act like a child. There are swings, seesaws, a lake, etc. I imagine childhood nostalgia is something special to most of us. We enjoy being able to have the glimpse of childhood freedom now and again. It does something positive for our brain. I had one of my most incredible and pleasant DNMs of my life while playing hopscotch. I don't know what that means. 5, you're connected with nature. I don't know how to describe this one, but sitting on a wooden bench or even on the grass, surrounded by trees and grass, and maybe with a view of the lake feels better than being surrounded by concrete. 6, it's inexpensive. At the moment, I kid you not when I say all of my outdoor dates have resulted in second dates. Also, I suppose me not having any expectation has helped. I don't assume she won't see me again, and I don't assume she will want to see me again. I just enjoy the moment and experience of meeting and talking with a cute lady. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. So what do you think of that?
The heck was
It was like it was a different one.
I feel like all those things are like good, but I feel like the main thing is that dinner and having like sitting down with somebody like is confrontation. It's confrontation, and it can make you
okay. Sorry.
or like it can like make you nervous for sure, and like put a lot of pressure on what's going on. So it feels almost forced compared to walking, doing something, and you're focusing on other things, and like they said, that there's like other points of conversation and stuff like that. You don't feel so.
It's more natural.
Yeah, it's more natural. Yeah, you don't feel the pressure of like we gotta do this like face to face.
I don't think I would like that though.
What, walking or doing something?
Yeah, it's like I'm thinking like if it was like somebody I didn't know, like I don't know what I would talk about enough to like go on a walk for how long.
But what would you talk about
at dinner?
At dinner,
like you could talk about like the food when you're like ordering and looking at the menu. Drinks.
Also, I feel like eating in front of somebody is a little weird.
Yeah, like you definitely.
The first time you're like watching yourself, you're like,
like even not in relationships, like when I go with certain people to wings, like there's some people I go with and I order boneless wings.
Because you're not gonna fucking chow down.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get all fucking baby wipe on my face, you know what I mean? I think this is interesting. I think like you have to find what works with you.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's
like,
worked for him. He probably can like hold up a conversation. I just think like I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like also like if you're kind of that type of person, you're gonna attract those type of people.
yeah,
that's true. And then, all right, so like branching off though, like, because not that I think about this a lot, but well, I have thought about this, like, dude, like if me and Alexis broke up, like I'd be lost, bro. Like I've been like I don't know how this relationship, like you know, starting relationships works anymore. And like, but I always tell Alexis, like, I think movie and to go eat is a great first date.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can talk, you go to see the movie first, you don't have to talk to each other. Like, yeah, you're sitting close to each other, but like you're not, like it's not face to face confrontational. And then when you go eat, like I'm not going somewhere fancy, you know, like I wouldn't go somewhere fancy. Probably like fast food, why not? And then like you have the movie to talk about, and it's not that long of a dinner experience. Yeah. What do you think? Like first dates?
I don't know. To be fair, on our first date, you did not talk to me like at all, even after the movie, and he put trash in my hand. Did you know about that?
There's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's a lot of pressure.
So we were sitting next to each other, well, honestly, and he like we were in a movie, so I guess like he couldn't talk to me, but I was just kind of like this is like the energy felt weird, and then we were late because he read the wrong movie time.
Oh,
so we had to sit at the bottom. So I was like,
that was like fun fact. That was the only movie Alexis was on time for.
What? What movie was it?
It was not on time. So anyways, I go like this. We're like next to each other, and I was just like I put my hand like on like the.
You shot the shot, bro?
Yeah,
You put your hand out there?
And he put trash in my hand.
I mean, like
what?
That's on brand.
That's pretty good. That's pretty funny though. I mean, I'd probably laugh.
Not thinking about that though, like I don't think I would hold hands with like on the first date. You know what I mean?
But we had already been to like lunch a bunch of times.
I mean, you guys did like know each other like prior, so like
that's true.
Yeah,
but,
that's weird.
It wasn't like I
yeah, so I mean,
I did not want to go out with him again. I remember telling Aaron and Eddie, I was like, that was fucking weird. Like I'm done. Like I'm never going out with him again. They're like, dude, he was just nervous. It'll be fine. And I was like, no, like that was weird. So
I think it's pretty funny.
I don't know if that's the best move for you.
I think I would have laughed. I would have been like throwing in her face some shit.
So what do you think? What's a go-to Julio first date? I feel like coffee.
Go to yeah. Honestly, I feel like it just depends like on the person. Because I feel like I don't know. I'm pretty.
I just feel like you should
versatile.
You should be busy. Like
yeah.
I think it would be fun to do like mini golf, like things like that, where you kind of have something else to focus on.
Yeah.
Just personally, because I'm awkward and I know like even like with new friends, like I don't.
Yeah, I feel like you guys could like actually talk about a first date too. That way nobody is forced to do anything that they don't want to. You know.
What do you mean?
Like if you guys are talking or had like a previous interaction or something like that, you'd be like, oh, like you want to go somewhere? Like, do you have something in mind? You know, like.
Yeah, I don't think dinner is the way to go. And then not to be like the guy that's like.
I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those like classic things, like dinner and a movie.
I think it's cute.
Yeah. Well, okay,
like
dinner and a movie, but like, would you take someone to like a steakhouse on the first date?
I think if you're like trying to impress them. Why not?
That's what I'm saying. Like you gotta like read the person.
Like, what are you impressing? You know what I mean?
Like a nice dinner. Like what?
A nice dinner. Something you're stating that it's not like. Like a whatever thing that this is special. See, and it deserves a special.
That's why I think it's a little too.
I mean, it just that's what I'm saying. It
no,
depends.
but I think you're very like the least you can do. Like that's what you want to do.
Me?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Like if you.
not in
a mean
from
way.
The top row, man.
Not in a mean way, but like if we never have to go to like a steakhouse again, like you probably wouldn't care to. You would want to go to like
Nah,
Pineapple
I've
or
been
burger.
I've been converted to like the finer dining.
Yeah.
Fine,
But you know, like
and
before
breathing.
before I met Alexis, like the nicest place I went was probably Sparrows with Julio's dad.
It's Sparrows.
It was a pizza place, like
I
a
forgot about that
Chicago
place,
style
yeah.
pizza.
That place is good.
But yeah, so like when we started, the first time I went with Alexis' family, we went to Cow Baron, and I was like, I don't even know how to order here. I
Sitting
never
there like this.
like there. They asked me like, how do you want your meat cooked, and I was like, warm. I don't know.
90 degrees.
Yeah.
Some people tell me.
On the stove, I guess.
Beef Wellington.
Some people tell me just kick it and put it on the plate. I'm like, ugh. It's a little much.
Who says that?
All
That's so
people.
fucking extra.
All people.
Yeah,
for
just
sure.
kick it and put it on the plate.
Let me spin you a little story.
Alright, good, I get it.
Alright.
Rare.
Wait, let me see some
So
comments.
there.
So rare? Yeah, you could have just fucking said that.
The least makes time next time.
Alright, douchebag.
No, that's about it. Alright, sorry. Monday.
Should we start writing them like in a book and like wouldn't that be funnier?
You have to write all the comments too.
Ugh.
There's too much prep work.
Or pull it up on the laptop.
Honestly, I don't know why we don't.
Yeah.
Where's the message?
Los mensajes.
Oh, I forgot to read the update on my girlfriend one.
No, it's too late.
Is it? I think I'm just gonna read it just for us. Just so we know what happens. Hey!
I never tried it. It's pretty fucking good. Actually, wait, I take it back. It's just good.
It's
Wow.
good.
It has
It's
like an
decent.
aftertaste that I wasn't.
Honestly, the pumpkin foam changes it
Mhm.
for sure. It's
Like
good.
better?
I think it makes it better.
I think when I got that cold
Adds a
brew with
little-
pumpkin foam, I think my pumpkin foam was like not good.
When you got what? The
Remember when I got that cold brew
Yeah,
pumpkin
I've
and I was
been
like, this
thinking about
sucks.
Wait, what'd you get? Did you get the pumpkin cold brew?
Pumpkin cream cold brew or whatever it was called. It was the one with the
It was
foam.
cold brew with
Oh,
the
okay.
foam at the top.
But like,
I was a
it just
fan of that
tasted
one.
like cold brew. I was so like disappointed.
So
But I
there's
think-
a difference. There's like the pumpkin cream cold brew, and then there was just like a pumpkin cold brew like that they had.
It was the cream because that's what Vivi told us to get.
Mm.
And I remember like it just tasted like cold brew.
Like cold brew.
So I think it was like made wrong.
Maybe.
And actually, someone told me that like they probably
Maybe
made it wrong.
either made it wrong or yeah. Or sometimes people give it a little stir, get it mixed
Yeah,
in.
look, it's not. Wasn't worth anything. No offense, girl. Girl.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So this is my last one.
All right,
How many more do you have?
that's it. I'm done.
Oh, okay.
I'm done.
I'm the asshole for how I reacted after I found out my husband ran a secret background check on me before we got married. This is up your territory.
Nah, I think that's fair, man.
Yeah,
Does she check out?
Yeah.
We've been married for 3 years, and I only just found out recently that before we got married, my husband ran a background check on me and my family. I found out because we were on vacation with his family, and they were doing things I had no interest in participating in. A few times, so I stayed behind. He let me borrow his laptop because I left mine at home. I made a folder with my name, and I was searching for it when I found another folder with my name. The folder was full reports on me, my family, including
Pictures.
extended family, and 2 of
Watching.
my childhood friends. Oh my god, that's kind of...
Oh, my question is, what does he do?
Yeah, okay. I read as much of the reports as I could before my husband and his family came home for
Reports.
the day. At first, I was just hurt he would do something. Do you think there's a coyote out there?
There's not gonna be.
I'm paranoid now.
No, I
You-
It's fine. It's fine.
He let me. Oh no. I read as much as.
No.
Okay, but I read more and started finding out things about my family and friends that I never even knew. I started to get angry. It's hard to put into words, but I felt like I had gone cold all over, but also like it wasn't me reading these things. So when I saw my husband, I exploded on him in front of his family. At first, he tried to say it wasn't a big deal, and his cousin chimed in to say it was normal, and he wasn't the only one who had done it in their family. When he saw I wasn't calming down, he tried to get me to go into our room so we could talk about it privately. but I told him I wasn't going anywhere with him and I was leaving.
Ooh.
My husband told me to stay and he would sleep somewhere else or he would leave, but we were staying in a house owned by his parents and it felt weird for me to stay and make him leave, especially since his family was still there. I ended up staying at a hotel for the night. Whoa. And we both flew home shortly after cutting the vacation short. Am I the asshole? Whoa.
We need some detail, man. We need
I think
some
it
detail.
depends what he found.
That's what I'm saying. No, not what does he do? Like, what requires you to have this much information about somebody?
That's true.
You know?
You love
and
stalking.
the fact that there's reports is like makes me question it, you know. So this person obviously knows like
Government.
what they're
To
doing.
check for? Yeah.
So that's like what makes me think that like that's why he did it, because he has to. And they also didn't specify.
I think she should have been told about it though. Once they got married at least. Or were about to.
I think.
Yeah, I feel like it probably should have been put on the table.
I agree, but I think her reaction was still overreacting. Like
I think so too.
if you were to hear that like a girl background checked a guy before she went on a date with him, that would be completely fine.
Yeah, I'd be like go ahead,
Yeah,
background check me.
like,
Like I don't have anything to hide.
Yeah, like
you know,
like it's your employees have access to information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not as thorough.
It's kind of weird that all the family too though. Like and some
Well, that's what it
friends.
sounds like government to me. Like
Yeah.
he works somewhere where he knows how to do that.
Or he needs to make sure that the person that he's with
That's also very true.
isn't trying to.
Especially if they got married, then he has to, right?
Yeah.
Don't they have to?
I mean, they're definitely not the asshole.
Yeah, you're not just gonna marry somebody that you don't know
Yeah, exactly.
to prevent like stuff like that.
But my father warned my mother before they got married that some people might show up at her apartment or her parents' house asking questions. Turns out my grandfather was actually part of the CIA, and it was just a safety, quote unquote, you're not actually a spy type of deal. This is a comment.
Yeah.
And
That's
yes,
exactly what Julio was
I am
saying.
100% serious. He worked on Voyager and even had the phone in the house that nobody was allowed to touch. Blah blah blah.
Voyager, the satellite? Or the probe, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm trying to see what most people say not the asshole. Which I'm kind of
What?
surprised.
Are you serious?
Really?
Yeah.
For her?
I don't think so. I think
I
like
think it
if you
was
know who
way-
you're gonna be with, and like, I guess like at that point you don't really know.
Well, if you're planning on marrying them, yeah.
I mean, I guess you
that's
do
100%.
know like that for what their line of work is in.
Maybe not if he's like a spy or something though. She might not know that.
I mean,
Have
yeah,
you
I
ever
mean,
seen True Lies?
Well, he doesn't even
Yeah.
have to be a spy, because if he has
but
like
that's the
certain...
thing. Yeah, if you have like certain like
Security
clearances, or you work somewhere that's super sensitive, like
They're going to check your
yeah,
spouse.
they're gonna check your spouse, your family, like
So then you
everything
just did it
before
just
you
to
get
do
that
it.
stuff.
Basically.
To check.
Not just to do it, but to protect. It could be like a
Well,
form of national security.
That's fine, but I think before they got married, she definitely should have known. So I don't think her.
That's what I'm saying is that like
reaction
you should.
on
Yeah,
blind.
that's what I'm saying is that like you should know like what you're getting into,
Yeah.
and obviously like there are things that come with that. So.
But isn't there like some things where you can't tell them unless you're married, right?
But a
I
background check.
think it just depends. It's also like need to know, or if a person doesn't even have a clearance, then you're not allowed to tell that person.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there times where like spouses get clearances just because they're a spouse, or no?
No, the clearances are
Like
you can
strictly-
clearances are like strictly like need to know, and if your job requires it. Like I can't just go out and get a top secret clearance. Like I have to have a job that requires a top secret clearance.
Yeah.
So
Not the asshole. He did these checks on you before you got married, and you only found out by accident. So it seems like he never planned to tell you. So much for trust. If he had concerns, he should have talked to you about them.
I don't think it's that.
but if it's even concerns, like you can't
Yeah.
you can't trust what somebody's word is
I don't.
like,
I don't care
in that
that.
situation.
I don't care that
Yeah.
he did it. I care that like he never told her. I think that's kind of.
I think
that's my
honestly
issue.
because like I think it isn't his line of work where it's necessary, so he
But
sees it as
if
just
was,
like
if it was so easy for her to like find the profile and she uses the laptop, like he didn't try to hide it.
he obviously didn't think it was a big deal. That's
Yeah,
why-
that's what I'm saying. So why not just tell her and then be like, hey, it's.
I think that's why he didn't tell her, because he didn't think anything of it. And he seems like a reasonable guy with the way he reacted.
Yeah.
Someone says it is illegal because background checks, like the ones that private citizens can run on each other, return only public information such as criminal records, previous marriage, etc. They do not hack phones, emails, or bank accounts, nor do they include medical history. So yes, it's legal to roam without the person's consent. Oh, sorry, it said it's legal, not illegal. The background checks for a work/security clearance are more in depth and use your social security number instead of just name and date of birth. That's why they require consent. OP says his family is wealthy. I don't know that.
Which means I think is implying that he can get
That stuff.
more information than the average person.
And that's probably why his family is also like chill.
Yeah, there's also like private investigators that can
Take stuff up.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, dude, like, I think if you are getting married to someone, like, it's not, like, I don't think that's a bad thing to do.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying go background check everyone, but
Yeah.
My husband told me his dad asked him to find anything that could be unwanted surprise as potential problem in the future, so I wasn't sure what extent of PI would go to.
That makes sense also, because his family is wealthy. So wealthy families care about who they're bringing into the
I
family.
wonder if they have what is it called? A prenup?
Yeah.
Because if she didn't care...
No, because it
No.
doesn't sound like it's his money.
It's family money is the thing. Yeah.
Well, he'll get it though.
What?
Eventually. The money.
Yeah, but that'll be their money.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder if he got a prenup.
Well, I think the point is to not
Have
get
to
that,
need
not
one.
to not have to need one, and to be sure of who you're bringing into the family and who they're associated with.
We have a prenup.
We have a prenup.
Oh shit, that was weird. I just came across it.
Damn, look at you, little detective.
That's weird, huh?
For who?
Wait, what did it say?
OP, we have a prenup. Ironically, because... Okay, let me read the comment. Not the asshole. If he is much wealthier than you, perhaps he should have suggested a prenuptial agreement. I get that. If he knew you had a sketchy background, he should have discussed it with you. But what? But your family? Hard no. And to never mention it, but keep it reports on his laptop? Hell no. Do I think you should have exploded on him in private? Yes. That's true. Like, I also don't think you have to make such a
In
big
private,
scene.
yeah, they should definitely handle that.
Because I don't
at
think-
the lowest level.
I don't think she's gonna like get divorced over that, so why make such a big deal in front of everybody? Like, that's just like embarrassing
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, I'm on vacation.
But since he had no issues with checking on your family's business, he had no excuse for whining that you exposed him to his family. Good luck. We do have a prenup, ironically, because I, quote, or parentheses, and his parents insisted on one.
They both did? Her and
Her and his parents.
Oh, that's weird.
Did you get the prenup before or
Wait,
after the
she
background
did,
check?
and his
Like,
parents?
I think the parents wanted him to,
Yeah.
and she wanted to. And they
Okay.
were both just like, we should do it.
What the fuck? Then that's fine. Like,
Yeah.
what's the deal? What's
Did
the
you
big
get
deal?
the prenup before or after the background check was done? After. Well, yeah, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounds thorough.
Yeah, man, my man's just thorough. I mean, I don't blame him.
They dated for 2.5 years.
I'll tell you what, he's not getting scammed.
I'll tell you what, yeah,
He knows where his donation
Yeah.
money's
he
going.
knows what's going on, man.
True is a lot. I don't know.
So I guess like the prenup like can cover like them.
Not the asshole, why does he still even have the folder? He says he forgot about it.
And honestly,
I mean, yeah.
that sounds like what
that
happened.
sounds fair.
I don't know. I don't think it's that big a deal, especially like if you trust him and you know he does and you love him or whatever. Like, why don't
Yeah.
love on him like that?
Also, if you have nothing to hide, like
Yeah, I mean, I would want to know. I would be like, that's kind of weird, but they dated
Yeah.
for 2.5 and they've been married for 3. Like, that's a long time together.
Yeah.
I think she kind of is that asshole. Especially if she wasn't gonna take it as far as divorce. Like, why make such a big deal?
yeah, I feel like she could have definitely handled that better.
Classy lady.
Classy. Say this one did a background check, bitch. We're done.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's over.
So that's it.
Yeah, that's about it.
Do you have anything that you want to add?
I don't have any closing arguments.
So when we go to Hawaii, maybe we can get you guys on another episode.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
That'll be fun.
That'd be really
So maybe we'll see you guys later, back with our little buddy. Maybe not. But anyways, thank you for joining us. And we'll be back next week on video.
Yeah, I think we're.
I think we're gonna try to start doing it, but if not, for sure on the podcast. So
That's it.
later.
Deuces.